milkshake, banana, banana cream pie, Rupa banana, Lamico banana,
Jazz banana, calypso banana, Benton like it, Desmond like it, Oh, green banana, yellow banana, red banana, white banana, blue banana, banana water, banana water, Brazil banana, blue banana, oh banana, my mama like it, papa like it, my baby like it, everybody like it, everybody like it.
all the nations like banana, all the races like banana, all the nations like banana, all the races like banana, all the nations like banana, all the races like banana, all the nations like banana, all the races like banana, banana, banana.
Okay, that was the banana song. And this is the apples and bananas problem that we'll go through today in an effort to get some practice in on consumer choice theory. And I'm filming this before a test coming up for our students there in microeconomics. And remember, we've done problems like this so that there's a certain matter of steps that we need to go through. I want to go through those steps, and then we have to make an adjustment and go through the steps again, and then at the end we derive a demand curve. So that's the point of these exercises with apples and bananas. Try to prove that a demand curve under the set of assumptions about in consumer choice theory work out and suggest strongly a downward sloping demand curve. So you have to derive it in the end from the various steps we take through this problem. All right, so there are certain basic assumptions you have to have information about total utility. Apples and bananas, you need to have obviously two goods and total utility information on each. Okay, and let's see, we're going to have income of 56 bucks, and obviously we have to have a price for apples and a price for bananas. All right. So let's see. Let's make some observations. Well, let's get the prices down. Let's say for apples we have a price of 8, and right, and say for bananas a price of 4. All right. We'll work that through in making selections between one or the other. So the prices are going to work. We're going to spend all the money. We're going to use up the $56 income and see what this combination of prices results in terms of purchasing a certain quantity of apples and bananas in combination, right? So all that information, first step in all microeconomic problems, now that we're into the course fully, find a marginal something. So you have to find marginal utility. Find marginal utility. All right, what is marginal utility? Now we're going to squeeze it in here. Marginal utility for apples. Marginal utility is the change in total utility over the change in quantity. As always, in all the problems I set up, the change in quantity is going to be 1. That makes it nice and easy. We can work through it very quickly. And that makes the differences here basically result in our marginal utility that we're looking for. All right? So, marginal utility of the first apple, the way I set it up, customarily, x at 0, so that 70 is set up as the marginal utility of the first apple. It's the difference, obviously, between 70 and 0. And then what's the marginal utility of the second apple? I see 50, because 50 is the difference between 120 and 70. The third apple, I see 40, the difference between 160 and 120, and so on. All these numbers are implicitly divided by 1. So it's almost as though we can forget about it. Let's see here. I see 30, I see 20, right, and 5. All right? The string of marginal utilities for apples. For bananas, let's see. Make a column here. I trust that you can see it. I set up 0, x, marginal utility, and then the change. I set up the first one, line it up with the units. 40, I see 30 as the difference between 70 and 40. I see 20, I see 10, 5, and 2. So there's your string of marginal utility figures for these things. So it's pretty clear you like apples more than bananas, or whoever this person is. Mr. Slap Happy, as I say in the textbook. Anyway, that's it. Next, we have to set up the series of choices between apples and bananas. So we're going to look at step by step, right? Which should we pick? An apple or a banana? Right? But to do that, we have to use not just marginal utility, not just price, but the ratio of the two. How much satisfaction do we seek per dollar? Well, we seek the maximum utility. So we're going to pick a ratio that's higher in terms of that, those two figures, marginal utility and price. Let's go do the work, all right? We got 70, 50 left. I might have to go back and forth. I'm not sure I have these memorized all together, but let's work. Let's see. All right. First choice could be apple or a banana. All right. We have 70 utils for the apple over a price of 8. And we have 40 utils over a price of 4. Okay? Let's do some math. 8 eighths are 64, right? With 6 left over, I get a ratio boiling down to $8, 8 utils, 8 3/4 utils per every dollar, for every single dollar. That ratio is important to me. I reduced it because it's going to be hard to estimate which is better, 70 over 8 or 40 over 4. But once we boil it down a little bit, this one's obviously easy. This is a 10-to-1 ratio, right? 10 utils for every dollar spent. Well, if you're choosing between these things, right, and you want to work it so that we're picking the step by step, we're picking the best thing in order to maximize our utility. Well then, 10-to-1 is better than 8.75. So, there. First choice is banana. Not because it's cheaper, but because the utils per dollar is better than the apple. So it's kind of, strictly speaking, you like apples more. 70 utils is better than 40. But the price makes a difference. Okay, second choice. Okay, here's important facet number 1. We did not choose an apple here, so this ratio for apples stays at 8.75 per dollar. But with respect to the banana here, the margin utility must go down. And if I'm not mistaken, it goes from 40 to 30, right? Yep. So I use 30 utils from the second banana, still over a price of 4. I have that 8.75 there. 4 into 30. Well, it's not quite 8. It would be 7.5. Well, 8.75 is better. Yeah, it's definitely better than 7.5. So guess what, people? Time to pick what? The first apple. All right, so after 2 choices, we bought one of each, always choosing the higher margin utility per dollar. All right, let's keep spending the money. Third choice. Fourth choice. Looks like I'm only going to fit 4 choices, but I know I'll have more than 4 choices, but we'll just keep going through the pages. Hopefully this will all work out. That was a banana there. All right. What happens with the third choice? We just had the first apple there. We're now thinking about the second apple in choice number 3. And as I recall, it was 50. I'm going to double check. So, yep, it was 50 utils. 50 utils for $8. Well, 8 goes into 48 6 times, and 2 left over, which is going to give us 6.25 per dollar. That's the ratio that I really am most interested in, the per dollar, per single dollar ratio. Let's see. Well, this was the first banana. Here, the second banana. So I did not choose it. I didn't purchase it. I didn't consume it, obviously. So you know what? It stays 7.5. From that 7.5, 30 over $4. Well, what's better? Any utility maximizing consumer would say and choose the banana. And that's going to affect the fourth choice because according to the law of diminishing margin utility, now the next banana, 1, 2, 3, the third one, will have a lower margin utility. And I think it's going to be 20. Yes, as I sneak a peek on the prior page where I had all the numbers. 20 utils over $4. That's a ratio of 5 to 1. That's easy enough. Well, is that going to be better than this apple? Which apple is this? It would only be the second one. Only be the second one. And we worked out that ratio, 6.25. We keep that ratio because we did not choose that apple there. Okay, easy again. The second apple has more utils per dollar than the third apple would. I'm sorry, the third banana, I misspoke. I'll say it again, second apple has more utils per dollar than the third banana. Given that ratio of 5 to 1 there. All right, we proceed, but every once in a while it's good to take an income check. That is, how much have you spent, how much income is left. All right, so 4, 8, we bought 2 of each. So 2 of these would be 16 bucks, 2 of these would be 8 bucks. Looks like we've spent now, at the end of this fourth choice, spent 24 I get. And we have what? 65, no, I'm far, so $56, $56. So we got a ways to go, we got to work this out. All right, we'll just work it through. We'll work it through, we'll see what happens. Let me set up this thing a little bit as efficiently as I can. Let's see where we are in eighth choice, at the 8th choice. And let's see. It's always an apple or a banana. And it's always a margin utility over a price. So let's see where we're at here. 2 of each. So we're looking at the third banana and the third apple. third apple, 70, 50. I got 40 utils over $8, a ratio of 5 to 1. And we had what? We had 20 utils before over $4. All right, this is interesting. It's a tie. Again, that ratio is 5 to 1. It's a tie. The marginal utility per dollar is a tie. What's that mean? Well, first you got to be conscious of the income. There's a lot of money left. You've only spent 24. A lot of money left. So what's going to happen, you're going to pick one, we'll make it apples, so that it forces the next choice to be bananas. You can pick, when you have ties like this with money left, you can go either way. Had we chosen a banana here, the next one would be apple. You'll see, you'll see. If we decide to flip a coin and choose apple here, right, the apple ratio would go down. Let's see, we had 50, 40, 30. This would go down to 30 utils. 30 utils for $8. And what's 30 divided by 8? I get 3.75, right? What happens here? We did not consume this banana, so this would stay at 20 utils over 4. I'm rewriting it obviously. It's 5 to 1. That's the key. 5 to 1. 5 to 1 is better than 3.75, so guess what? Time to pick the what? Banana. And so far things are kind of balanced. An underlying theme about this consumer choice theory, things are kind of balanced. You like a good almost twice as much as the other, but that one that you prefer, the apple, seems to be twice as much. And so, you know, it's coming out to kind of a 1-to-1 ratio in terms of purchases. We'll see whether that stays consistent throughout the whole thing. All right, another color. Well, we did not have this apple, so in the 7th choice we keep it, 3.75. But this will go down. This will go down to, right? I believe it goes down to 20 utils. I'm sorry, 10 utils. 10 utils over 4. A ratio of what? 2.5. Well, that's kind of interesting. 2.5 is not better than 3.75 timed by what? An apple. All right. I think this is a good time to take an income check. Right? We had spent 24. Another 8 makes 32. Another 4 makes 36. Another 8 makes 44. I get 44 spent. 44 spent after 7 choices. I think you follow. Double check. 24 before, plus 8, 32. Plus 4, 36. Plus 8, 44. We have $56 to start with. We have to spend it all in order to maximize our income. There's no